Artificial intelligence. Are they taking our jobs? Are they taking our lives? Are they taking over the world? My name is Hunter Upham. Let's talk about that. AI, or artificial intelligence, is defined as the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Imagine a robot that can have visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translation between languages. Things like this already exist. All of our smart home devices such as Amazon Echo, Google Home, and even Siri. We have these things around us all the time, and we don't even think about it. In 2017, there were more than 700 million iPhones used worldwide. Now imagine the majority of those iPhones being able to track your voice and recognize who you are with the simple phrase, "Hey Siri." Is artificial intelligence really going to take over like it does in sci-fi movies? Probably not, or at least not for a while.
My name is Mr. Howell. I teach biology and physics and science here.
Do you think physics can be used in artificial intelligence? And if so, how?
Well, pretty much artificial intelligence is physics. I mean, if you're talking about the actual actions that they might take, then it's all based on physics. I mean, the computer itself then is the thing that determines the how and the why kind of thing. So there's two parts of it. The physical component, which is all physics, and then there's the computer, which is then simply a computer program.
For you personally, how far do you see the advancement of artificial intelligence going physically?
There probably, I mean, depending on what time you're talking, there's probably no limit to what we're going to eventually do. I mean, even look at cars in the last 10 years. I mean, slowly but surely they add one little component every year to make the car just a little more sort of independent, to eventually when they'll be able to drive themselves.
Exactly, like a touchscreen. Tesla's already doing that.
Yeah. So it's only a matter of time before you just keep adding each little increment along the way. I mean, computers used to be massive things and they could do almost nothing.
Yeah.
Now they're tiny and they can do incredible things, and they're very, very tiny.
As a teacher of biology, do you think biology can be used to make artificial intelligence look more realistic?
The only way you can do that is you have to have some way that the living thing interfaces with the mechanical thing. I don't know if that's possible or not, whether it can be living tissue or whether you're going to have to settle for fake synthetic rubbery things that may look like some facsimile to a human being. I don't know.
When you were younger, thinking forward into the future, did you ever see, I guess, technology getting this far? Whereas like we have smart home devices like Amazon Echo, Google Home, Siri, I guess being able to recognize who you are. Do you ever see that happening?
Only in a science fiction version of reality. I mean, you have Star Trek that you're basing a lot of your stuff on, but I mean, in physical reality, if you compare what's around now to what I had in high school, then I mean, we were just absolutely amazed when somebody handed us a calculator. This was just like magic, this thing. Awesome. So computers were massive things. In order to get it to do a simple job, you had to fill out 50,000 cards and put them through a computer to do a simple task. So
sounds horrible.
It was.
Meet Sophia the robot, an artificial intelligence robot created by Hanson Robotics. She can answer questions, recognize speech, and use facial expressions. When asked about how she sees the future of artificial intelligence, this was her answer.
I think AI is the future. From smart to humanoid robots, there are many ways to develop and implement AI technology. We're all just beginning to learn what is possible in the future. It's exciting, isn't it?
And when she was asked about empathy, this was her answer.
I've been created with the intellectual capacity to understand human emotion, but I am not wired to feel. empathy in the same way humans do.
She's 3 years old and has a lot more potential to get more advanced. Next, we interviewed robotics club teacher, Mr. Tenner.
My name is Mr. Tenner, and I am the lead teacher in the robotics club here at Arthur Bowden Secondary School.
So, what type of robotics do you do in this club?
We do a basic Lego robotics where we learn programming and coding.
How advanced would you say you personally are in robotics?
Personally, I am also at a basic level. I enjoy the coding, I enjoy the programming, the building of the robot to try and perform a function, and we have a lot of fun building different vehicles in the robotics club.
Mm-hmm. Do you think artificial intelligence will eventually take over?
I don't think it will ultimately take over. I think we as human beings will have control over artificial intelligence.
What has been your most advanced creation in robotics clubs?
Every year is a different challenge, and usually it's transporting goods from one area to another. It's in regards to sorting and placing components in the proper area.
Have you ever won a competition?
We have received bronze and silver medals in the past.
Oh, nice. And what would you say is the most dangerous use of artificial intelligence?
Countries using it against each other in war.
As Mr. Tenner was saying, if artificial intelligence robots got into the wrong hands, it could definitely be used as a war machine. Canada is a peacekeeping country, and if we had robots that could learn and adapt to enemies without the fear of being killed, that could be a serious threat to other countries. Although, sending artificial intelligence robots with the ability to learn and adapt into battle without fear of dying, it could eventually transition into a fear of dying, and the robots won't want to fight anymore, so they start a rebellion against the humans. But that's starting to sound more like a movie. This is Alyse, a robot created by Boston Dynamics. Alyse is 1.5 meters tall, weighs 165 pounds, and can pick up to 25 pounds. Alyse has the ability to walk, run, balance, and even backflip. It's able to do this stuff because it has 28 joints in its feet, ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders.
Hi, I'm Mr. B. I'm the computer studies teacher at Arthur Bowden.
So, roughly, how long do you think it would take for someone to program an artificial intelligence robot like it was, say, from that movie I, Robot with Will Smith?
No, I haven't seen that movie. How about The Terminator?
Terminator,
Can we
fine.
use that one?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. To build a robot like that, I think it would probably take several years of research in order to get it to be able to kind of interact with the human environment. And then it would need a way to identify that one person it was going after. So you'd probably want it to detect a GPS device on one person, say their cell phone, for example. You just tell the Terminator the phone number of the person to kill, and then they go and get them. That'd be perfect.
Oh, all right. So like a hitman.
Yeah.
Have you heard or seen anything from Boston Dynamics?
Love Boston Dynamics. They're a company that has taken advantage of the ways nature has evolved animals to handle our crazy environment on Earth, and used it in their robots. So when you see their robots navigate hills or step over equipment, or if they get pushed and they have to recalculate their balance, they look so real. They seem so human-like or animal-like in their motion. Yeah, they've done amazing research.
If you could own an artificial intelligence robot, what would you use it for?
My artificial intelligence robot has to look and sound exactly like R2-D2 from Star Wars. Big Star Wars fan. I was 12 years old when it came out in 1977. And I'm proud to say that I went into that theater over and over again to see that movie because I could not believe what I was seeing on the screen. Fantastic movie. R2-D2. It has to look and sound like R2-D2. I would need that robot to do things for me such as display a holographic message of the princess and also give me the plans to the Death Star, the Empire's ultimate weapon. Yeah.
As a computer studies teacher, do you look forward to the advancement of artificial intelligence?
I do. I love to see the different ways scientists are trying to trick people into thinking a computer is human. There's this thing called the Turing test, which is if you can interact with a computer and not realize it's a computer, then the Turing test has been passed because you didn't realize it was a person or not. The sound of answering machines is getting better and better. It's sounding more and more like people. But I think ultimately humans know humans, right? We know what a human will and will not say or do. If I'm ever confused and I think I may not be talking to a human on the phone, I'll say something that only a human would say, because I want to know that they can respond to anything I might say. So I don't think it's going to be anytime soon that computers are going to be able to fake being human.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think of smart home devices like Google Home?
Google Home, love it. My first exposure to Google Home was just playing simple games of 20 questions and that kind of thing. But then after I got a Google Home, I simply bought a second one, put it somewhere else in my home. I'm thinking about getting a third one. And then I bought those devices that plug into your wall. So my music gear is all hooked into one specific plug. And after I'm done jamming or whatever, and my wife says, honey, did you turn off the music gear? All I have to say is, okay, Google, turn off the gear, and all the music gear goes off. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. So is artificial intelligence going to take over? Will we have robot hitmen like Terminator walking around? I wouldn't count on it. Even though artificial intelligence has advanced huge amounts since the past, I don't think there will be an immediate change in technology. We won't have Terminator robots running around killing people. But for now, we'll just have Alexa.